Tags are electronic post-it notes. Now, I mentioned earlier, post-it notes are used in library workrooms all over the place. You put post-it notes on resources to say this pile of resources needs to be catalogued, this pile of resources needs to be culled, this pile of resources needs to be recovered. Basically, it's a way of physically identifying groups of resources or groups of records. These tags, or electronic post-it notes, I like to call them, are only visible in the management areas like resources, copies, and borrowers. They can't be seen on the search screen. They can't be seen on the orbit screen. They're only seen by people behind the scenes who are adding and removing records. Some of these tags are added automatically. And the type of tags that are added automatically are borrowers. Borrowers are tagged when they're newly added. So when new students and staff are added to Oliver, they automatically get tags. And the tags for new borrowers is students and staff added to Oliver. And when borrowers leave the school, they have a tag attached which is borrowers that have left your school. So by these being tagged automatically, at any time you can use Tag Manager to locate and view these records. Tags can also be manually added to records. You might tag borrowers, you might tag copies, you might tag resources. And by tagging records, it's easy to group them together for reporting purposes or for maintenance purposes. You might tag a whole series of records and say, okay, can you please go through the records that have tagged and make sure all the titles are spelt correctly? Or go through all the copies that have tagged and make sure they have the right supplier attached to them. So it's a way of grouping records together, like setting up a to-do list. And nobody can see the to-do list except for people behind the scenes, and they're quick and easy to maintain. Let's go into Oliver and have a look at these. We'll go to circulation and we'll have a look at borrowers. With borrowers, you're taken to a search screen and you can search by roll class, scholastic year, loan category. You can search for borrowers by their name. You can search for borrowers by their barcode. You can also search for borrowers using the Tag Manager button at the top of the screen. Tag Manager looks like a luggage tag. Well, I think it looks like a luggage tag. In the Borrowers menu on the right-hand side, there's also a Tag Manager icon as well. When you click on Tag Manager, it shows you any tags that have already been attached to the borrowers. In this case, none of the borrowers have been tagged yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tag some borrowers as monitors. To tag a borrower, you don't need to edit them. You simply click the number on the left-hand side. So for Martin Bender, I'll click on his record and scroll down a little. And one of the fields that's available for borrowers is tags, add new tag. I'm going to click add new tag. And I can select an existing tag, a used tag. As we saw, there's no tags used already. Or you can create a new tag. I'm going to call mine Library Monitor. If you've got several people adding tags, sometimes it's a good idea to use your initials at the end of the tag so people know who created that tag. Otherwise you might have a whole list of tags and have no idea why they're there. Click on Add Tag. Martin's details are displayed again, except this time he's got a tag Library Monitor. You can attach more than one tag to a borrower at a time. I could click on Add New Tag and say he's also part of the reading club or something like that. Or say he's a bad borrower, he never returns his resources on time. Remember, nobody can see these tags except for you. Even in Circulation Desk, you can't see these tags. These are behind the scenes only here. If I return to my list, I can see next to Martin's name on the right hand side, there's now a tag icon. If I move the mouse over the tag, it displays the tag name. It says Library Monitor. If borrowers have more than one tag attached to their name, there'd be more than one tag icon displayed. I'll just demonstrate that for Martin. I'll click on Martin. I'll scroll down and add a new tag and say reading program. Click add. And if I scroll down looking at Martin's details, he's now got 2 tags attached to his name. If I click to add a new tag, the tags I already used aren't there because they're already attached to him already. If I go back to my list, Martin has 2 tags attached to his name. You can add tags to other borrowers in your list quickly and easily. You could go into each borrower individually and tag them. Alternatively, while you've got the borrowers on the screen, you could click on the tag name itself. So if maybe Jody and Paula and Tony were all monitors as well, we could click the library monitor tag on the right hand side of the screen, and it gives you some tick boxes. So Jody's a monitor, tick her box. Paula's a monitor, and Tony's a monitor. Just tick the boxes next to their names. At the top of the screen you can see the tag name, which is library monitor. Once you've made your changes, you can click the save button at the top of the screen. When you click save, the changes to those tags are kept, and then you can simply click cancel or exit to get out of the screen. And now the other monitors have tags next to their name. So how do you locate these tags? Next time I go to the borrower's screen, I can use the tag manager icon at the top of the screen to search for them. And to search for library monitors, I click the run query icon. When you select that, it displays the borrowers. A quick and easy way of grabbing a group of records. I could then run a report on those. Remember, there's 2 extra tags that you may have in your system, which are when your borrowers are added to your school, students and staff added to Oliver, and borrowers that have left your school. So they're tags that you could search using Tag Manager if they're applicable for your school. You can remove the tags in the same way. So if I want to take Martin away from being a library monitor, I could click on his tag on the right hand side, untick his name, and click save. And then click the X to exit. And the only tag he's got now is reading program. The others have library monitor against their name. You can remove all the tags at once from a borrower, from a group of borrowers or records by clicking Tag Manager. Let's say we're starting the year afresh and we're going to clear all the library monitors. So if I want to remove the library monitor tag from all of my borrowers, I simply click the Remove Tag icon on the right hand side of the screen. When you select Remove Tag, you get a confirmation message to make sure you want to do it, and click OK. Now, as an added bonus, it displays the borrowers that just have the tag removed in case you made a mistake. So if you accidentally removed a tag, you've still got the borrowers displayed on the screen so you could quickly re-tag them if you had to. So it doesn't just remove them, it shows the borrowers you've just removed them from as well. Another way of removing tags is from the individual records. To demonstrate this, I'll go back to my reading program tag. So I'll use Tag Manager again. I've got my reading program tag, run that query, and Martin's attached to that. If I click to view Martin's record, to view the details of his record, I can scroll down to the tag and just click on the tag. So if I click on a tag, a message comes up saying, do you want to remove the tag? So tags can be removed from individual records by clicking on the tag when you're viewing the details as well. When you click OK, the tag is removed. Tagging is available for borrowers, resources, and copies. If I go to the cataloging area, choose resources, Tag Manager. Tag Manager is also available from the menu on the right hand side. And there's some imports that people have done. Reading list catalog record, some overdrive records, invalid URL. Invalid URL is an example of an automatic tag that gets attached. And what happens is every week a check is made of all the websites that you have catalogued. If any of those websites don't work, Oliver automatically tags them during the housekeeping process. So it doesn't remove the records, it just tags them. So if you were to run the query for that, you can see all the records where there's an invalid website or the website that didn't work when we tried it. And if you look on the right hand side, invalid URL. And you can run a report on those if you want to and come back to them later. But at least they're tagged, you don't need to remember what they are. Anytime you can use Tag Manager to go check them out. It may have been that that website changed. It may be that someone mistyped the website. It may have been on the occasions when the website was checked, the website was down perhaps. So several different things. It might have been a blocked website. There's several different things that make things invalid URLs. But that is another example of an automatic tag. And some of the records have two tags attached, invalid URL and a SCIS record. So it's downloaded a couple of years ago, and since it was downloaded a couple of years ago, at the time of the checking, it was found to be invalid. The website may have changed or moved, or maybe at the time it was a block site perhaps. You see it's different tags for different records. And again, like the resource records, you could click on the title, scroll down to the tab area, see the tags and remove them one at a time. Or if you click Add New Tag, tags will be added manual as well, either using existing tags or by creating new tags as you go. So there you have it, tags. Electronic post-it notes behind the scenes, great way of grouping records together for easy identification at any time by people behind the scenes.